Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Steam Shuffle. My name is Asher, and today we are taking a look at a little gem known as Assault Android Cactus. Assault Android Cactus has been developed by Witchbeam, which is a little indie dev studio out of Australia, I do believe. And this is the only game I've been able to find that they've developed ever. So for their first game that they've ever made, I'm actually fairly impressed, and I will have to show that off a little bit. But Assault Android Cactus is a twin-stick shooter, which I recommend using 2 sticks for, not keyboard and mouse, to do this. But you have a few different playable characters, each with their own set of abilities, primary and secondary weapons, and you go around killing a bunch of robots. There's a very little bit of storyline in it. It pretty much just sets the premise as to why you're killing them. Basically, your androids, you're not controlled by the overminds, and the other characters are that you're killing. So there you go. They have quite a few options in here if you need to lower them to get optimal results out of this game. But I can tell you, I've got everything cranked up, and even with about 100 people on the screen, with everyone shooting off in different directions, I've never dipped below 60. So optimized very well for their first game. I'll give them that. But let's jump in here and kind of show off. Oh, before I do, public service announcement, PSA on this. So every time you beat a level, you get credits. I didn't know what these credits were for until just recently, and I went to collection and found that you can purchase biographies of these different planets and give a little bit of backstory on those, some art, and then EX options. Now I'm really upset that I spent all those credits, because EX options are different camera views. I think this first-person camera could be pretty intense, honestly. These right here, mega weapons. I don't know what they are, but I want them. Duplicate characters. So this is a up to 4-player co-op game, and yeah, you cannot pick the same character as someone else. Apparently, if you get this EX, you would be able to. So and you can also make it to where you can have bots jump in and play with you as well. But these will disable the score for leaderboards if you use one of these 4 options here. But I'm really upset. I really wanted to unlock the mega weapons, and I had the money to do it had I known that existed. So if you guys pick this up, be aware of that. It's don't waste your money on concept art if you want this stuff here. And it's going to take a long time to work up enough credits to actually unlock all of this. So completionists beware. You might have your work cut out for you. I am on the very last boss of this. I'm kind of stuck on it. It's a bitch. I've played for a good 3 hours, maybe 4 hours into it through the campaign to get there. So for a good 4 hours. I believe the game was $10. So there's a lot of replayability, especially when you have other people over, or if you can put this on a big screen. There were talks to put it in on console. I don't think it is yet, because this just came out of early access here on the 23rd of September, I believe, so only a couple of days ago. I had not seen it or played it before while it was in early access, so it was all brand new to me. But I have been thoroughly impressed. So you have your regular campaign, your regular story, your Infinity Drive, which is endless mode, your daily drive, which resets either daily or hourly, that will load a randomly generated level for you. It's kind of an arena shooter, not your twin-stick shooter that I was trying to think of. It's not like a shmup. It's not like a shoot-'em-up with the scrolling, and you'll just have to see exactly what I mean. So I'm going to jump into a daily drive real quick. I'm going to kind of show that off. So I already completed my drive there. I died, but you can... Okay, I guess I'm not doing that one today. Alright, so in an hour and 10 minutes, I will be able to do another daily drive. Let's jump into Infinity Drive and see how far we can get. So here's your characters. Cactus is your basic assault rifle. Her secondary flamethrower is very good, very powerful, short range. But if you want range, high damage, Cactus is the way to go. Holly's not bad because she takes a lot of the aiming out, and that cannonball that she has is very powerful against large groups, because it's a very slow moving projectile, takes out pretty much everything in her way. And each character is like that. There's Lemon with the spread shot. It's not very powerful for one person, but it kills a wider array. And then the rockets there are really good against bosses that I've found. They kill them pretty quick. Got your shotgunner here. obviously horrible at close range, but or at long range, but close range it'll take him out. And that plasma field that she has, it'll even deflect bullets. So very, very handy. There, I believe, are supposed to be 9 characters. I have 8. I really like Peanut. Peanut's probably one of my favorites. So I'm going to show her off here because she's just different. But I have, since I haven't beat the last boss, I believe that unlocks the 9th one. So I have yet to see what it is, but I'm excited because every single one of these characters you have, they play completely differently. You're going to have to find which one works best for you. But I like Peanut. I like Peanut quite a bit. So we're going to jump in with her. She's got the magma spewer here, and then her secondary weapon, she launches forward with that giant drill on her back and takes things out. So here we are, Assault Android Cactus. There's a unique premise in this with that battery you see at the very top middle of the screen. That's it's like a timer, but it's essentially that's your fail state. You can die as many times as you want as long as you'll just see that green thing I picked up there. That was one of the battery charges. You can die 100 times. As long as you don't run out of battery, then you can keep going. Once that battery is depleted, you lose immediately. So it's a very interesting concept that keeps you going and it keeps you being aggressive and not trying to hide from the robots, because if you do, you're just going to die once you run out of battery. So I really like that, and I really think it drives that constant state of aggression or a constant state of emergency that's going on. That it's different. I've never really played a twin stick that does that before. Instead of just trying to stay alive, it also encourages you to kill as many things as you possibly can for more than just score. Already on the 3rd layer on here, so this will get much more difficult here in a couple of layers. These first 2 layers are pretty easy. You have 3 power-ups. You have your firepower here that gives you those 2 extra assault droids that just melt people. You have your wings, that's the mobility, it will move much quicker, and then you have the blue ones is it disables every enemy on the field for a short time, and I believe it makes them take increased damage. At least it seems like it does. But the shutdown is vitally important. Like, oh my god, that thing has saved me I don't know how many times. Mobility, yes, if you're doing good, or especially in single player, mobility helps out quite a bit. Firepower, probably would be my least favorite unless there's a ton of enemies on the field and you're just trying to clear them out. Let's pop that secondary there real quick. So the way the secondaries work in this is they have a cooldown. They have it's a fairly short cooldown. When they're on your back, they will recharge that cooldown. But they are very powerful, so you can use them quite frequently. You just kind of want to make sure you're not wasting them, because they will make or break you. They can save you. There we go. So these big guys like that, they take them out very well. I'm about to run out of battery here. There we go. Okay, I got one right in the nick of time. I almost died. If that would have ran out, I've been out. So you die just like that, and you tap the trigger a few times, you'll come right back up. But if you don't have enough people dying around, then you're going to run out of battery, and you inevitably lose. So this endless mode is basically how many layers can you go before you run out of battery. And every level is like this. This is not unique to this infinite gauntlet or infinity campaign or whatever this was called. It's that way in campaign and everything. The bosses, everything. So a boss has about 5 phases, and I will show one of the bosses off here in just a sec. That if you aren't killing the boss fast enough, then you're going to run out of battery and you lose. So you get pretty much 5, and if you don't kill him in 5 batteries, it's game over. Not doing too bad on this run. I haven't really made it past like layer 5, layer 6, so I'm not wonderful at this game, but the game does a really good job at making you feel like you're good at it, because it's not one-hit kill. It's about 5. You can take about 5 bullets. Yes, those bullets can happen really quickly, or a mine will kill you in 1 hit, but even younger children or someone who's not really that great at video games can pick this thing up and have a blast with it. Especially the 4-player co-op. The more people, there will be more enemies, and on bosses it does take more to kill them. I'm not sure how much you can carry another person, because the only people I play with are right on par with me. And we do fairly well, but it seems like the difficulty is... It does help. I will say co-op, the biggest difference are the power-ups and the battery collects, being able to pick them up quickly, because it seems like there's the same amount of power-ups, but sometimes you're just further away from them and you're not able to pick them up every time. So co-op may have slight advantages to it. From what I've seen on the leaderboards, I do way better in co-op modes on the leaderboards than I do in for single player. However, that also could be attributed to there is no network play with this. It is only local co-op. But this game is, to me, it's up there on the same level as like Castle Crashers when it comes to couch co-op and replayability. It's a really fun game to get together with your friends on a Saturday night, have a few beers, and sit on the couch and go at it with a Steam Big Picture mode, or if you have a big enough monitor even, and play with a couple of people. The console variants, when they come out, I'm sure it's going to be very highly successful, because then obviously people play those on couches more. Network play, I don't know if maybe will be in the future, and maybe they don't want it to be, which I completely understand. I kind of have the same feeling with some games that, you want to have someone sitting there next to you, and something that requires precision like this, man, that netcode is going to have to be spot on to do any type of network play. Because if it's just a little bit of lag, I mean, you're going to have people dying and a lot of frustration going. So that very well could have been why they opted out of not including network play in it, simply because it was difficult to get it just right. There we go. Let's melt them out. They're throwing quite a bit at me right now. Oh, man. It's getting a little crazy. Get that shutdown. There we go. All right. Kind of wipe them out with that drill there. Yeah, I'm really, really fond of Peanut here. She's probably my favorite. She doesn't have quite the range as some of the other ones, but she has more range than the shotgun, and that drill is brutal, especially against bosses. You line it up just right. It won't go through them, but it will do the full duration of that drill to their face and just melts them, basically. So that's always fun. I get down to layer 6 on here. I'm doing actually really good. I like the endless idea with these batteries because it's a good, maybe a warm-up, or just, I could see this being replayed many, many times over. I think I'm about to lose. Oh, nope, there's a battery. Picked it up. Nice. Man, I missed that drill entirely. Come on. There we go. The way that drill works is if you're not hitting someone with it, then it doesn't deplete nearly as quickly. It's when I catch one of these guys with it that it takes it out pretty quick. Although I do like grabbing them with that drill and just carrying them into a wall. I think that's going to be me dead, though, right there. Oh, nope, there was a battery. I didn't get it, but I'm down. All right, so we made it to, what is that, layer 6, layer 7, 3, 4, 5, 6. Layer 6, all right. So 795 on the leaderboard there. I don't know how far they go, and that seems like an all right number to me, unless there's only like 800 people, then obviously not that great. But yeah, I think on some of the 2-player ones, it was like rank 18, I believe, is as high as I made it. So I did, but obviously probably the people who are really going for leaderboard and score attack aren't playing co-op. Let's take a look real quick at one of the bosses before I let you go. I'm going to, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Let's go with Shiitake here. She's a railgun, basically a sniper rifle. And propeller mines, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So I'm going to go back to the first boss, because he's fairly simple. An Embryo. I'm going to take him on. There he is. Alright, Embryo. What you got for me? A little bit of dialogue there, and then the fight starts. So, Embryo, or Shiitake here, she can't kill things very quickly, but that you line up that railgun and it will kill like 4 or 5 things in one shot. I guess I didn't really mention, but it's worth mentioning those white crystals there. That is powering up my weapon until it does max out. And from what I can see, damage doesn't really increase as much as the spread does. But, well, at least it's more noticeable that it's just the area of attack. But obviously, it has to do more damage, I would imagine. I mean, there's no point otherwise. This guy is fairly simple, yeah, for the first couple of phases, but he gets pretty intense here in a phase or two. After this phase, I believe he gets a lot tougher. But the boss design in this, like I said, I'm on the last one, so I've played all of them. Boss design is incredible. I am highly impressed with what they did with bosses in this. They're all very unique, and each one having different phases. It's not just dodging bullets like it is with this guy here. The second boss, she has like a swarm of drones that you kill rather than actually damaging her. And then the one after that, he has like these little power nodes that he's gonna put into the ground. That when they go into the ground like that, they make a grid of lasers that you can't really. You have to kill the power nodes, or otherwise you're gonna get to where you can't move and dodge them anymore. See, I was saying those batteries there. I'm on my last few, so we've got to kill them pretty quick. I was getting red on my battery there. Let's see if I can get him towards the propeller mines here. Those things do a lot of damage, but he's not getting close enough to get hit by them. Railgun, railgun, railgun. I like her if you're not able to do a whole like some of the other characters. You really have to be able to sit on them with their weapon. With her, you can really. You only get a couple of good shots, but those good shots, they do a lot of damage. So I think she's different. She's really good in solo. Co-op, not so much. And I could be completely wrong on that. But I can be all the way across the room here and still nail him with these. Am I going to get him? Yeah! With just a little bit left in the battery, I was able to take down that boss. You can still talk. I need to work on my aim. Yeah, buddy. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Assault Android Cactus by Witchbeam, the developer out of Australia, with the first game in the series from what I can see. And I am thoroughly impressed. For being their first game, I am really looking forward to what else they put out, because I've had a lot of fun with this one. I will absolutely continue to play it, especially when I've got a friend or two over. We'll sit down and have to go at maybe get another controller even and do maybe 3-player or even 4-player, because it's up to 4, and really lay into this one because I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I would say, like I said before, I think comparing it to Castle Crashers in terms of couch co-op is very accurate. I mean, it's got that. It maybe not quite as much replayability simply because you don't get lateral upgrades, so there's not a sense of progression other than clearing levels. I'm hoping that maybe they will open up player levels, like level editors. That would be nice to see what the community would come up or any type of mods to simply keep it going. Or if they just release DLC themselves, I'd like to see more levels coming out with this. The daily drive does seem like it's different every time, but the daily drive, it's very generic. Like you saw me do the Infinity run there. The daily drive is the same way. So these little drones are what I'm talking about on that last boss, that you have to kill these instead of her. These things are kind of annoying with Shiitake because she can't do the spread with them. Those mines will work pretty good there. But yeah, Assault Android Cactus, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you see and you'd like to see more content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. But until then, on the next Steam Shuffle, when I find something that looks interesting for me to play, not necessarily new, but I will bring out some new content, and I will see you then. Take it easy, guys.